So what happens when the daughter of a Goop-founding movie star and a, legendary rock star decides to launch a music career? You'd think there'd be some buzz, right? Well, for Apple Martin, that buzz turned into an absolute firestorm of controversy. It ended up digging up years of old rumors and connecting right back to her mother, Gwyneth Paltrow's own recent onset drama. Okay, let's get into this tangled web of Nepo babies, mean girls, and the court of public opinion. And wow, the internet did not hold back. I mean, this comment right here, it just perfectly captures the vibe of the reaction to Apple Martin's first live performance. It was sharp, it was funny, and honestly, it was a pretty clear sign of the brutal backlash that was coming. It basically suggested her talent didn't quite live up to the opportunity she was given. So here's the basic setup. You've got Apple Martin, who is literally the child of Hollywood and music royalty, and she gets up on stage to sing. The performance goes viral. But yeah, not for the reasons she probably hoped. Instead of a round of applause, it just ignited this massive, fierce debate online about nepotism, privilege, and the big question, did she actually have the vocal chops to back up that super famous last name? But that viral debate, it didn't just come out of nowhere. To really get why the reaction was so intense, we have to look at the person at the center of it all. See, this isn't just about one single performance. It's about a public persona that has allegedly been building for years. And this is the key. For so many critics online, the singing was just the opening act. The real main event was this whole series of long-standing rumors that have kind of painted Apple as, well, a classic mean girl. These allegations have been floating around for a while, and they really set the stage for how the public reacted to her big debut. So, let's break down these specific accusations, because it's pretty interesting how they stack up. First, it started with these viral clips from a debutante ball in Paris. People accuse her of upstaging another girl, and she was caught on camera rolling her eyes at her date. Then the story of the Cartier clique came out, this supposedly exclusive high school group that would mock students who couldn't afford those super expensive bracelets. And finally, the most serious claim of all, this persistent rumor that she was actually expelled from school for bullying another student so badly that it had just devastating consequences for them. And a comment like this from Reddit just shows you exactly how the public is connecting Apple's alleged behavior directly to her upbringing. The criticism isn't just about her. It's seen as a direct reflection of her mother, which, you guessed it, brings us right to Gwyneth's own recent drama. And this connection gets even clearer, almost uncannily so, when you look at what's been going on with her mom. Right as Apple is facing all this heat, Gwyneth is out there stoking her own fires with some pretty revealing comments about a recent film role. So, get this. Gwyneth lands a role playing the love interest to Timothée Chalamet, one of the biggest young stars on the planet, in a movie called Marty Supreme. I mean, sounds like a huge get, right? But sources claim there's a, let's just say, slightly embarrassing backstory to how she actually got the part. And this table just lays it all out. According to the reports, Timothée Chalamet was practically begging Julia Roberts, who's 58, to take the role. They even offered her something close to $20 million, but she turned it down, apparently feeling the age gap was just too big. And only then was the role offered to the 52-year-old Paltrow, which kind of makes her the second choice.
But despite being the backup plan, Gwyneth seemed, well, let's just say very enthusiastic about her intimate scenes with Chalamet. She actually said this to an on-set professional, basically waving away all the modern standards for actor safety and consent. It was a very old school, let's just get it done kind of approach.
Okay, so to really get why that quote landed so poorly, we have to talk about intimacy coordinators. This is a role that became an industry standard, especially after the #MeToo movement, specifically to protect actors. So when Gwyneth dismissed one, telling her to step back, it just came across to a lot of people as really out of touch and pretty dismissive of the very real concerns that led to that job being created in the first place. All right, so let's recap. We've got the daughter, who's being accused of some pretty entitled behavior. And then we have the mother, who's acting with a certain boldness on set. Now, let's connect all the dots with Gwyneth's own words about how she raised her kids. And this, right here, is the crucial connection. And it comes from Gwyneth herself. In an interview, she described her children as having a sense of entitlement that's beautiful. Now, for her, this wasn't about being spoiled. It was about empowerment, about them being here for what the boys are going to get. From her point of view, it's actually a positive trait. But that perspective clashes, and I mean dramatically, with how the public sees it. On one side, you have Gwyneth calling entitlement beautiful, And on the other side, you have comments like this one, basically arguing that you need to actually achieve something on your own before you can have that kind of attitude. It's a massive, massive disconnect. So all of this feeds into a much, much larger conversation that really goes way beyond just one family. It's about the very nature of fame, of privilege, and what it really takes to earn your spot in the limelight today.
And this all speaks to what a lot of people see as a privilege machine. I mean, the path seems to be paved in ways most of us can't even imagine. For example, Karl Lagerfeld literally declared a 4-year-old Apple a future Chanel girl. Then you have online speculation, with blind items hinting that her dad might be pulling strings for a Coachella slot. And those rumors about NDAs to silence high school stories, they're still swirling. Now, she is studying at a top university, Vanderbilt, but the perception is that her journey has been, let's say, heavily assisted.
Now, to be fair, there is a counterargument to all this. Some people believe that while, yes, children of celebrities might get their foot in the door unfairly, they then have to work twice as hard and be twice as good. And why? Because the public is just waiting and watching, totally ready to tear them down and say they only got there because of their parents. And that really leaves us with the central question of this whole thing. In the court of public opinion, where do we draw the line? Is this kind of intense, brutal scrutiny just part of the deal when you have a famous last name? Or, in an age that is so saturated with Nepo babies, is undeniable, proven talent the only currency that should grant you access to the stage? It's a debate that is definitely far from over.